Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Noble, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my Raidraptor deck profile. So Raidraptor is actually one of my favorite decks ever, so I'm really excited about sharing this one with you guys, especially with the addition of Wise Tricks, being able to search out our rank up plays, and with the whole Infinite Negate loop that's going on right now. That's definitely going to get hit, so we might as well enjoy it while we can. Raid Raptors are the opposite of Black Wings. Black Wings use Synchros, Raid Raptors use Exceed. My buddy has a Black Wing deck, and I have the Raid Raptors, where it's constantly doing Wing Beast mirror matches. It's a ton of fun to play, and without further ado, let's jump right on into it. So to start off with, we're playing 3 Raid Raptor Tribute Lanius. I'm going to go ahead and tell you so you don't get surprised if you're looking up the prices trying to make this deck. Tribute Lanius is sitting at about between $16 and $20 right now. When I made the deck, he was actually at $8, so I got them for $8 a piece. But unfortunately, with the release of Wise Tricks, I guess it's been bought out. It's way more expensive right now. You might be able to get a little bit cheaper on eBay. I think I saw a few for like 14 or 13, but that was a few days ago, so I'm not sure if they're still there. But Tribute Lanius is pretty much a mandatory 3 of to make this deck competitive. What it does is during your main phase of this card's normal special summon this turn, you can send one Raid Raptor card from your deck to the graveyard during your main phase 2. If this card destroyed an opponent's monster by battle this turn, you can add one rank up magic quick play spell from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters the rest of this turn except Raid Raptor monsters. You only use each effect of a Raid Raptor Tribute Lanius once per turn. So he's just a great Foolish Burial effect. We're really probably going to use that to send our Mimicry Lanius to the graveyard and they get Mimicry's effect. But this is a really great card. The most expensive card in the deck. This is the most expensive, so there's nothing higher than this right now. So just keep that in mind. For the next 3, if we're playing 3 Fuzzy Lanius, I really wish that the Raid Raptor monsters, the whole Raid Raptor deck would get like a bling out. Like I really wish they get reprinted as some type of rarities, like just super rare. That'd be great. But anyway, Fuzzy Lanius has the ability to where if you control Raid Raptor monster other than Raid Raptor Fuzzy Lanius, you can special summon this card from your hand. So just an easy way to get him out of the field. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Raid Raptor Fuzzy Lanius from your deck to your hand. So he kind of has like also like a Thunder Dragon Dark vibe to him. You only use each effective Raid Raptor Fuzzy Lanius once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate either of this card's effects except Raid Raptor monsters. Now keep that in mind because we do play what's his name? Super Dragon Infinity in this deck, so more than likely you're going to be going for Raid Raptors, but do keep that in mind in case you're planning on going to Infinity, that you can't use Fuzzy Lanius effect and then special summon something that's not a Raid Raptor for the rest of that turn. Next up, we're playing 3 Vanishing Lanius. Vanishing Lanius has a really simple effect, but it's really great. Once per turn during your main phase of this card's normal special summon this turn, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Raid Raptor monster from your hand. So like I said, really simple effect, but he's really good for just getting out our plays and helping us go into our Exceed monsters a little bit easier. So for the next 3 over, I've got to fix this. That's just bothering me. For the next 3 of, we are playing Raid Raptor Last Tricks. Now Last Tricks is really, really good. Probably the best Raid Raptor in the entire deck, in my opinion. He has a long text, so let's just get into it. If a Raid Raptor monster you control battles while you have any spells or traps on your field or in your graveyard during damage calculation, and either player's turn, you can special summon this card from your hand, then you gain 100 life points for each spell or trap you control in your graveyard. So that's really mediocre, so that's not what makes this card great. What makes this card great is the second effect. You contribute this card, your opponent takes no damage, battle damage the turn. You activate this effect, you can special summon 1 Raid Raptor XYZ monster from your extra deck in defense position, but its effects are negated. Also return to the extra deck during the end phase. You can only use this effective Raid Raptor Last Tricks once per turn. So basically this card's like a walking Ultimate Falcon or Satellite Cannon Falcon or whatever. You literally use this card to bring out any, the Raid Raptor XYZ monster, and then we're just going to rank it up, and then that card's going to stay in the field and it becomes part of the material, and then bam, we have a boss monster out. So this card is so good. I really cannot stress how pivotal Last Tricks is of the deck, and we actually play basically 6 copies of it, which I'll get into a little bit later. But this card's great. Definitely play 3 of this in this deck. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. For the next 2, I'm playing 2 Mimicry Lanius. Mimicry Lanius is really good. I guess you could bump this up to 3 if you wanted to, but I just like him at 2. What it does is once per turn, during your main phase of this card's normal special summon this turn, you can increase the level of all Raid Raptor monsters you currently control by 1. That's good. But what I like a lot about it is during your main phase of this card is in the graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, you can banish this card, add one Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card. You only use this effect of Raidraptor minimum Crowlanius once per turn. So just a great searcher of being able to add any Raidraptor card is just fantastic, and that's why I like playing this one at 2. Like I said, if you wanted to bump it up, you could, but I think 2 is a more optimal number. For the next 2, I'm playing 2 Painlanius. Painlanius is really good. It can't be used as Exceed material for an Exceed summon except for the Exceed summon of a Winged Beast type monster. If this card is in your hand, you can target one Raidraptor monster you control that has a level, so you can't use it with Wise Tricks, so keep that in mind. You take damage equal to its attack or defense, whichever is lower. Your choice if tied, and if you do, special summon this card, and if you do that, this card's level becomes the current level of the targeted monster. You can only use this effect of Raidraptor Painlanius once per turn. So basically, if you control like a Singulanius, which is what I play one of next, Singulanius has 100 attack, 100 defense. You basically bring out Painlanius, take 100 life points, like you take 100 damage, and then it becomes level 4, and then you can go into your rank up, your Exceed place, which is really good. But I think it's more of a 2 of, but you know, you could run 3 if you wanted to. And what Singulanius does is really simple. If you control a face-up Exceed monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And you can only special summon Raidraptor or Singulanius once per turn this way. So just really helps us into going into our Exceed plays as well. I'm playing 1 Mist Valley Apex Avian just for that, you know, at the gate. Combo, what it does is once per chain, when a card or effect is activated quick effect, you can target 1 Mist Valley card you control, return that target to the hand. If you do, negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. I'm struggling to speak is all I always am, so I apologize. And then 1 Mist Valley Thunderbird just for the same thing, for that same combo, which Mist Valley Thunderbird is $6-7 a common, and also $6 or $7 for a secret rare, which I thought was interesting. That it's the same price for the common and the secret rare, at least what it was when I got it. So I'm only playing 2 Ash, just because I didn't really want to. This is a 4-2 card deck. I didn't want to go into 43. If you want to get rid of the Thunderbird or something, or you know, move things around and play 3 Ash, go for it. You know, absolutely play what you want to play. This is just what I'm going with right now. So that's it for the monsters. Let's move right on into the spells. We're playing a good number of spells. For the first 3, we're playing the 3 rank up magic Skip Force. This is like the best one in my opinion. It's really great. What it does is you target 1 Raidraptor XYZ monster you control, special summon from your extra deck one Raidraptor monster that is 2 ranks higher than that target by using that target as the Exceed material. This special summon is treated as XYZ summon, and the materials attached to that target also become the materials to the summoned monster. During your main phase, except the turn, this card was in the graveyard, keep that in mind. You can banish this card and 1 Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, then target 1 Raidraptor XYZ monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So this card's just great all around, just being able to rank us up into Ultimate Falcon, or even, you know, Final Fortress Falcon. And then has a graveyard banish effect where you can get into the body on the field, and then, you know, you can rank up that way as well. So that's really great. This card is definitely a 3 up in my opinion. For the next 2, I'm playing 2 rank up magic Soul Shave. Soul Shave is really, really good. What this one does, it comes at a cost. You pay half your life points, but it's totally worth it, because then you can target 1 Raidraptor XYZ material in your graveyard, special summon it, then special summon from your extra deck 1 XYZ monster that is 2 ranks higher than that monster by using it as the XYZ material. This special summon is treated as an XYZ summon. So you could even go into Final Fortress Falcon this way if they got over your Ultimate Falcon, which is really good. This is a great card. I don't really think you'd want to play it 3, but I guess you could if you wanted to, but I like it at 2. I'm playing 1 Doom Double. I'm only playing 1 Doom Double, but it does give me a peace of mind while I have it, because you can target 1 Raidraptor XYZ monster in your graveyard that was destroyed by battle and sent there this turn, special summon it, then special summon from your extra deck 1 XYZ material that's twice the rank of that monster by using it as the Exceed material. This is special summon is treated as an XYZ summon. So this is a really good card to give you a peace of mind in case your opponent does get over your Exceed monsters, but I think it's more of a 1 of. For the next 3, I'm playing 3 Cattle Call. This is like the 4th, 5th, and 6th copies of Last Tricks. It like literally does the exact same thing. It's a quick play spell. You send 1 face-up monster you control to the graveyard whose original type is Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast. Special summon 1 monster from your extra deck with the same original type, but it cannot attack, and its effects are negated. Also, it is destroyed during the end phase. You can only activate 1 Cattle Call per turn. So literally Last Tricks is what this card is. It's just more copies of it. We're going to use this get out our exceeding monsters, and then rank up into like Ultimate Falcon or something. So that's really great. For the draw power of the deck, I'm running 3 Allure. Now you don't really want to banish too many of your Raidraptors unless you're about to get an Ultimate Falcon. Not Ultimate Falcon, excuse me, Final Fortress Falcon, and you know you're about to get a Final Fortress Falcon, then that's totally fine because you can just recycle them. But the draw power definitely helps a lot. So if you want to bump this down to just 2, that's fine, but I kind of like it at 3. I'm playing 1 Raidraptor Nest. Nest is really good. It's kind of like a nerfed version of Black Whirlwind. But what it does is if you control 2 or more Raidraptor monsters, you can add 1 Raidraptor monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effective Raidraptor Nest once per turn. So that's a really good searcher. This is the only one that stays on the field besides Doom Devil. So just keep that in mind when you're running your Smorg Link plays, but it's not really going to be a problem if you have one on the field. So it's usually pretty fine. I'm running 1 Monster Reborn just for being a special summon back from the graveyard. 1 Foolish Burial, and then the last 3, I'm just running 3 Call by the Grave, like always, just because, we don't want to get ashed. We're trying to set up our board, and we don't really want to have to deal with our opponent's hand traps. We never do. So Call by the Grave is just really helpful for stopping that. So that's it for the spells. I'm only running 3 traps. I'm just running triple Raptor's Gust, just because I kind of want to stick with the art type. Raptor's Gust is really good. Do keep in mind if you're trying to go for that Smorg loop, that if you have these on the field. But if not, it's really great because what it does is when a spell trap card is activated while you control a Raidraptor card, negate the activation if you destroy that card. No maintenance cost, no activation cost, just straight negate, and you're always going to have a Raidraptor monster, so it's really good. I've won games with this card just being able to stop out our opponent's plays because a lot of the spell cards just are straight combo starters, so being able to stop that is really good. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. The extra deck is packed with Raidraptors. We have 2 Wise Tricks. I'm only running 2 Wise Tricks. What it does is 2 Darkwing Beast monsters. To bring it out, this card's Link Summon. You special summon 1 level 4 Dark Wing Beast monster from your deck. In defense position, its effects are negated and it cannot be used as Link material. That's totally fine. If a Raidraptor XYZ monster's effect is activated, set 1 rank up magic spell from your deck, and if it is a quick play spell, it can be activated this turn. That's really good because you can only use each effective Raidraptor Wise Trick once per turn. So up until now, besides Tribute Linus, we haven't had a way to really search out our rank up plays, and now we do, and that's great. I'm running 1 Smorg just for that, that combo loop I was talking about. 1 Burl Sword for OTK. If you wanted to substitute out Burl Sword for like Appaloosa, or if you don't have Appaloosa or something like Nightmare Phoenix or something like that, or Unicorn, that's totally fine as well. For the Raidraptors, I'm playing 1 Raidraptor Final Fortress Falcon. I don't really go into this one too much, but it's really great. If it has a Raidraptor as a material, it's unaffected by other card effects, and then once per turn, you detach 1 material from this card. Return all of your banished Raidraptor monsters to your graveyard. That's what I was talking about for lore. Don't be hesitant to use it if you know you're going to Final Fortress, because it's just free draw power, basically. Up to twice per turn, when this attacking card destroys the opponent's monster by battle, you can banish a Raidraptor XYZ monster in your graveyard, and this card can attack again in a row. And that's really good. But the one you're probably going to go into the most is Ultimate Falcon. Ultimate Falcon is like the staple for boss monsters, really. Like this card is like the epitome, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like this card is great. It's unaffected by all other card effects, so it has like the best protection in the game. You can target one XYZ material from this card. Excuse me, you can detach a material from this card. For the rest of this turn, all monsters your opponent control will lose 1,000 attack. Also, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated. So just a straight lockdown of your opponent's boards is really great, and then that 1,000 attack loss just like a smack to the face. If this card is a Raidraptor monster's material, which it probably will, it also gains this additional effect that once per turn during the end phase, you can make all monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack, and that's permanent, guys. Don't forget that. That attack loss is permanent. If your opponent controls no face-up monsters, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. This card is freaking crazy. Like, I have won so many games with like just Ultimate Falcon on the field, and then my opponent has a whole board. They just can't do anything because they can't get past Ultimate Falcon. Like, this card is straight up devastating to so many decks. And it's really great, and you're always trying to go into Ultimate Falcon most of the time as quickly as you possibly can. I'm playing 2 Satellite Cannon Falcons. Satellite Cannon Falcon is really good. It's kind of like a Harpy's Feather Duster. If this card is XYZ summon using a Raidraptor monster's material, you can destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls. That's great. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this activation. During either player's turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 800 attack for each Raidraptor monster in your graveyard. And that attack loss is permanent as well. And I was actually able to, I can't remember the name, but the Blackwing guy, synchro monster who can like get really beefy. I was playing against my buddy, he got that out, and that dude was huge, but like I used this card, and like I was able to get past it because I made it lose so much attack. Like he was pissed, but I was happy, and that's all that matters, as long as you're happy. I'm playing 1 Revolution Falcon, and then I'm also playing 2 Force Strix. Now Force Strix is sitting at $10. Force Strix actually went down. It was more expensive than that. The Secret Rare is $16. This one's about $10 now, so that's really good. Force Strix is our Searcher. This card gains 500 attack and defense for each Wing Beast type monster you control other than this card. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card and add 1 level 4 Dark Wing Beast monster from your deck to your hand. And that's really great as well. I'm playing just 1 Blade Burner, and then I'm playing 1 Infinity. Now, you can go into Infinity really easily with this deck, and that's really good. Just if to have that option to go into the Infinity, to have that negate. I wouldn't play more than 1 Infinity. I mean, there's been a few times where I was like, man, I didn't have Infinity anymore. I'd already used them. And I kind of wish I had another one. So if you wanted to bump this to 2, that's totally fine. And then for the last one, I'm just playing 1 Ice Beast Zero Fiend. I think I'm saying that right. What this one does is once per turn, you detach 1 material from this card, negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent current controls. And if you do, this card gains 300 attack for each face-up card currently on the field except this card. These effects are applied to your next standby phase. So this is a really great card. It can really, just stop your opponent's board, and you can win with this card really easily as well. But that's it for the deck, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Like, this is it's such a fun deck to play. I really love it. It's really fun to play against Blackwings. Like, you should definitely try that. Like, it's just a ton of fun. Let me know what your guys' favorite Wing Beast deck is. I think there's a few out there for sure. If you prefer Raidraptors over Blackwings, definitely pick this up if you're able to. Like I said, Tribute Lands is a little more expensive at the moment, and Force Strix, but other than those 2, this is a budget-friendly deck for the most part. So that's it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit the bell to become a part of the notification team. Smash that like button. And as always, I will see you in the next video.